QZZ though. Shout out to QZZ at 1v2 on Vitality. He was wiped out by Aura like seconds later, but
हम क्या कर रहे थे? हम desperation कर रहे थे. ये बाकी मैं बोल रहा हूँ पब्लिक जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं, make sure you like and subscribe. VR से आधा सब काउंट लगाना है. रुक जाओ, टेक वाले बंदे को आंदो, मैं सब काउंट लगवा दूँ. सब काउंट लगवाना है अपने को, सब काउंट लगवाना है. बाकी we are very close to 2.57 million. करा दो अभी. थोड़ा वहाँ का एक्सेंट सुन के मेरे अंदर भी थोड़ा इंडोनेशियन इंग्लिश निकल रहा है. करा दो रे भाई, करा दो रे. ये मैच चालू हो गया? चालू होने वाला बस.
Thank you, Seven. Great breakdown there. Recap of what
बाकी मेरी आवाज तो एकदम बराबर आ रही. सब ऑल गुड.
Starting to get a little bit louder in here, but Paris, I want to know how loud can you get? Let's get some noise going!
So we are all set. Ganpati Bappa Moria.
Here we got here in Paris, supporting all their teams. I mean, the Enigma Galaxy crowd, they've been loud. We'll see if they can get louder. As Enigma Galaxy are doing fairly well here so far. It's really, really nice to see. I think again.
टेक वाला बंदा आते मेरे को दो चीजें चेंज करवानी है, वो करवा दूंगा तो सॉर्टेड हो जाएगा. बाकी जिनको क्वालिटी का इशू हो रहा है, मैं आपको एक चीज बोलता हूँ, स्ट्रीम बंद करके चालू करना. ऑल्सो पब्लिक 3 लाख लाइक की तरफ बढ़ते हुए 3 लाख लाइक आन दो.
The big thing was, didn't immediately go down either, and I think a lot of times that's all he needs to do, because he knows the layout of the land, he knows where he needs to be playing. It's just sometimes he'll play those spots and then and that's bad. So he's just letting in the rest of his team work those ankles whilst he plays that off.
So Ganpati Bappa Moria! Come on boys!
But we're heading over to our angle now, so probably a little
Chalo, chalu kar raha hai.
a little bit more calm, chill down as we head in towards the first caution of the day. Fury at last game did come down to Eagle once again.
Yeah. And honestly, mate, you know, normally I think you'd favour him in kind of positions like that, where if he had to step up as a solo, it's just how late in the game it was and how strong everyone else he was up against was looking, right? Uncomfortable position to be left in, but hey, they still squeeze some extra points out of it. So it's better than it could have been. For some of our other talented squads, they're far down the standings, but like you touched on,
चल भाई रैंगल है मेरे अपने लिए.
Get something a little bit more normal. Opening plane path established here.
प्लेन पाथ तो अपने दोनों टीम के लिए अच्छा है रे. अपनी एक टीम लूज आउट जाती है, एक टीम अपार्ट. मेरे को लगा मेरे पास आके सेटअप के लिए बॉलिंग है.
Well, at South George, probably possible. It's just going to be a little bit more of a long approach on that one. Vital's just out early. I don't really ever mind the Kameshki split, honestly, over towards Salva on that eastern side. You have a lot of position to loop. Most of the time, you're not having a second peak come over here. So it's just a really good position to get set up in the early game. But man, Tiamba, we didn't talk about too much at the end of that game. But there is definitely fire in those bellies today. Because to make that
म्यूजिक बंद होगी ऑटोमेटिकली गाइस. वो लोग आप बजा रहे ऑटोमेटिकली बंद हो जाएगी, टेंशन मत लो.
the central compound when we're playing edge.
यार ये लोग इतना आपस में पास उतर रहे हो, देख के थोड़ा डर लग रहा है भाई. देखो ना, गॉर्डन और रोजी एकदम पास जोन अच्छा है, दोनों के लिए अच्छा जोन है. दोनों के लिए अच्छा जोन है. बाकी एक बार टेक वाला बंदा आएगा ना, मेरे को स्क्रीन पे इधर नहीं दिख रहा, उसको आते मैं सेट करवाता हूँ. उसका बंदा अपने यहाँ से गाड़ी लेके गया, मान्या उतरा अपने पास वाले कंपाउंड में, अपार्ट के स्कूल और अपार्ट के बीच वाले.
A lot of the rotational tools will probably be removed.
Oh, gunfight!
It is going to be a long rotate for Vitality. You are
NGX versus EDA.
End up, or probably
damn, bro.
End up creating a
Poaching
little bit
gunfight?
more of a passive game for them.
अभी तो एंटी को गया तो मसला ग्रैंड फाइनल में गनफाइट देखने मिल रही.
Loving life. You know, they get down towards Ferry Pier. The yellows on the eastern side. There's no
ग्रैंड फाइनल में गनफाइट देखने मिल रही.
You get yourself set up nice and early on one of the prior compounds as we head into Zone 2. I think the scary thing about this one is it does eke in a little bit of Sosnovka, and there isn't a 0% possibility that this doesn't go down towards Sosnovka in the future. It still can. It could even center up around Bridge. Satan on our screens. You know what, the last game, first time I've seen Satan smile this tournament, by the way. Even when they win, he usually looks like something's gone wrong.
He enjoyed that one.
He did like that one. That was a nice win for him.
Yeah, they were chuffed to bits. And to be fair, it was great. You know, nice head-to-head.
I just want to see
two
the
very
main
talented squads. Lots of
How do you add the
contrast to
projector?
play styles, but
mistakenly
Galaxy proving that it was on the money today in that first game. So low on utility, but made every bit count. Can they keep it going?
Okay. And
You
also,
start well on Rondo. How does it look then moving in here to Arangao?
This is for what?
I just want placements. What are we
main
looking
street,
at
right?
from
Switch.
them? That will be a nice, I suppose, a litmus test
I don't know
of what the quality of this team's going to be looking like throughout the next 2 days here.
Okay, but I can see here, right? So no need of
Ida.
Yeah,
You guys kind of crumbled.
Thank
They
you
made
so
the
much.
similar approach to Tiamba actually last game, but
sorted है.
I think what
सबका अभी ये मैच के बाद लगाता हूँ
they
क्योंकि
isolated the
मैं
Vitals
खुद ही लगा
found
सकता हूँ, कोई
away
problem
from
नहीं.
Aurora, whereas Ida kind of came from that north side and just sandwiched themselves. I thought that was a very strange play for Ida to make. I think most of the time, most teams would understand that. Probably don't want to place yourself between those two squads or those
चलो.
two buildings.
अच्छा गॉडल यार बहुत अर्ली रोटेट कर रही है पब्लिक डब्ल्यू.
In that location.
अपन बहुत फटफट रोटेट कर दिया. अपन गटका ले लिया. गटका लूटेंगे अपना एकदम खतरनाक. ओजी अपना रोजॉक लूट रही. उल्फ अपार्ट उतरी है. अब ओजी और थोड़ा उल्फ का सीन कुछ हो ना वो अच्छा है. गॉडल सेंटर ऑफ द जोन अप्रोच कर रही है भाई. 40 का स्प्लिट देख रहे क्या तुम? फेरी पियर, आईएनडी हिल और राइट वाले 6 असोस वाले कंपाउंड. हैवी स्प्लिट लेकर रखे. अपने लड़के भी पूरा स्प्लिट होके गटका लूट रहे. एंड बाकी कहीं और ये सीन मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा. बाकी सब तो कैजुअल है. बस अपने को उल्फ का ध्यान देना है और उल्फ का ध्यान देते देते एफएल जो रोटेट करके आएगी वो अपने पाथिंग से रोटेट करके आएगी ओजी के. तो वो चीज का ध्यान देना है. बाकी गॉडल का स्प्लिट एकदम प्यारा है. गॉडल एकदम मस्त जगह पे. ईडा और इन लोगों की फाइट देखते हैं. अगर अपन थर्ड पार्टी करने का सोच रहे इन दोनों की फाइट में तो अपना एक लड़का वहां पे पास में है. पावर को लोगों ने कोचिंग के स्कॉलर्स में छोड़ा है या तो किलफीड पढ़ने के लिए या मतलब ऑब्वियसली फाइट होगी तो इनिशिएट होगा तो उसको आवाज आ जाएगी गन फाइट की गोलियों की. और किलफीड भी पढ़ के मे बी वो थर्ड पार्टी करने का ट्राई कर सकते हैं. बट अभी तक उन लोग प्रॉपर फाइट इनिशिएट किए नहीं यार. अभी तक पूरा इनिशिएट करे नहीं लोग. देखते होगा कि नहीं. बाकी अगर तुम ऐसा प्रैक्टिकली देखा जाए तो गॉडल का जोन अप्रोच बहुत क्रेजी है क्योंकि अपन इस जोन के हिसाब से अच्छी पोजीशन है. ओजी अच्छा प्रॉपर लूट करके निकलेगी. उनको आराम से स्पॉट मिल जाएगा कि पहला जोन. अब मेन चीज ये है कि हार्ड शिफ्ट होकर नीचे ब्रिज की तरफ ना चले जाए. जहां तक मेरे को लग रहा है जोन कहां बनेगा मालूम. जहां पे 100 में का नाम दिख रहा ना तुमको गॉडल 100 में लिखा हुआ वो क्वेरी वाले हिल के साइड ही ये जोन यूजुअली एंड होता. मतलब अगर मेरा कर्सर दिख रहा नहीं दिख रहा आई डोंट नो. बट 100 में जहां पे है ना क्वेरी के साइड एक सर्कल बनाओ. 100 में के नीचे क्वेरी के साइड सर्कल बनाओ. वहां पे यूजुअली ये जोन एंड अप होता. अगर गया हार्ड शिफ्ट तो ये आईएनडी हिल पे हार्ड शिफ्ट होगा. ब्रिज के ये साइड नीचे आना तो मेरे को पॉसिबल नहीं लग रहा. बाकी गणपति बप्पा मोरिया लेट्स गो. क्रूशियल मैच. पहला मैच दोनों टीम के लिए थोड़ा डिसेंट गया. डिसेंट भी नहीं ओके ही गया. ये मैच बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी आर अप्रोचिंग आईएनडी हिल. ओके मान्या की प्रेडिक्शन है कि आईएनडी हिल जोन आ सकता है. मान्या सीधा आईएनडी हिल के लिए अप्रोच कर रहा है. अपन 4 मैन प्रॉपर आईएनडी हिल होल्ड कर रहे हैं. नीचे वाला कंपाउंड ऑब्वियसली खाली है. 40 हिल से छोड़ के 40 पंप और फेरी लूट.
Squads that were forced to play
Let's
survival stage, you've had to consistently keep grinding and keep that form on the go.
Yeah, exactly.
You come out from your group in those top team spots.
अरे तुमको मैप दिख नहीं रहा था ना. मैं तब से बकबक कर रहा हूँ. मैप नहीं दिख रहा है. मैप देख के बता रहा था. मैं मेन फीड देख ही नहीं रहा था. सिर्फ मैप देख रहा था. वाह मेन फीड में क्या हो रहा था मेरे को ध्यान ही नहीं है. मैं सिर्फ मैप की फीड देख के बकबक कर रहा था. वाह आ जाओ थोड़ा नया है ये सेटअप है यार. समझो यार.
I know the floor is trembling under my feet, so it'll be the same down there on the stage for our players. And if you're trying to instantly snap back into that tournament-winning mindset after a few days off with all this going on, it might take a game to try and lock back in.
Yeah. I don't like that though from Aurora. Because you can scout that a lot easier just by sending over towards the beachhead, having a look over towards Lighthouse and being like, okay, there's a guy up there waiting. Try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd maneuver to try and just send someone, slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player.
बाकी इंडिया का फ्लैग चैट में आन दो पब्लिक. गणपति बप्पा मोरिया लेट्स गो.
Could have even just waited for zone 2.
इंडियन फ्लैग चैट में स्पैम मारो. हार्ट्स आन दो चैट में. ज्वेल्स भेजते रहो. मैं चैट पढ़ नहीं पा रहा तो इसके लिए आप ज्वेल्स भेजते रहो. कीप ऑन सेंडिंग ज्वेल्स.
that is.
Jules बेचते रहो.
Yeah, the trade of it. One player's life, one of your squad mates for an information play. Economically, it's not the best trade on it. Especially if we see him get a good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight. One player of difference, Blank.
Hell, I mean, even this circle right now, where it's down towards the eastern side, Fourth Wives knows that. This is prime time to go for bridge camps.
Yeah.
Like, if this circle is further over towards the northwest, maybe you don't go for that type of thing. But I think this one, if you're Aurora, it shouldn't be a case of, oh, let's check it through some of there. You should just know.
Devil's in the details. And it paints a very pretty picture here for some teams. For Aurora, it results in 3 players alive in game 2 to kick us off. Flash also having 1 player knocked here.
Oh my God, Bobby के तो hand heel पे क्या रे zone?
Still in play. There you go, buddy.
Hand heel की तरफ भी गया तो zone पूरा फेरी वगैरह. बहुत नीचे का शिफ्ट मारा ले. मॉडल की रोटेशन देखो. Hand heel के वाला जो पास वाला कंपाउंड में वो ले रहे या तो सीधा जो मिलिट्री एरिया होता है, कैंप साइट होती है, वो अप्रोच करें.
Because now this really could go back over towards Sosnovka. I'm sort of expecting it to head towards the northwest. But for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula. Alula's kind of considering whether we should take an eastern crossing or should we just play over towards the ridge side on the southern edge. Cuts out a massive amount of space though. So much water involved. But teams are just going to be sending towards Ferry Pier because there's safety in that location.
Vitality did thunderfoot their way down from Stolberg quite quickly, so you can see there amongst the rest of the pack, everyone else attempting to forge a path into the zone.
वाले क्या प्यारी जगह ले रहे हैं. क्या प्यारी जगह लिए पब्लिक. जो मैं बोला ना मिलिट्री का एक छोटा सा कैंप एरिया होता है वहाँ पे. वही जगह अपन होल्ड कर रहे हैं. बहुत प्यारी जगह है. ओजी की रोटेशन की बात करूँ तो मैप फीड बाद में दिखाता हूँ. ओजीबी आ गई फेरी के पास. ओजीबी सीधा डब्ल्यू रोटेशन मार दी पब्लिक. अरे रे विस्कॉट आराम से प्लीज गिरना मत. विस्कॉट प्लीज. Oh my God, please.
Luckily still alive.
Yeah, great zigzag.
अरे टियान की बंदे ने स्लैम कर दिया AK.
He's very close to going down. AK will be actually challenging this. But man, AK has been making a name for the DBS, right? You know, there's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades with it.
He's bringing it back in fashion. Seems like the horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Aru. Oh, going back in. Let's see what he can do with the DBS. Wants to prove he's the DB best up close and personal. On to Schwetz.
अरे यार बाजी ने कनेक्ट किया था यार.
Ideal for his teammates. Joker strikes with a shotgun and Tony K outside. Twist the knife. Another one falls.
Aru मारेगा.
It all goes down to just Aru. Trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by Irina.
बहुत खराब गया.
Irina
खराब
to remove them. Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with Irina, unfortunately. Some good shots to start there, but tried to crumble slightly. Tony K came in like a demon, though, from the sidelines. I think WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back here. They're over towards the pier itself. Fourth Rives mirroring them over towards the eastern side. We are close towards our next circle now. Nigma Galaxy making me laugh at the moment, man. They're like, this circle looks horrendous. We're going to play in our drop spot for the rest of the game. We're going to get very looted before we think about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Fourth Rives looking good. Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality confirm over towards that compound that sits towards the field. I don't think it's a bad idea here. Gives you a lot of control of the Longwoods that sits around this area.
ओल्ड फेरी वाले 2 कंपाउंड पे अपन टैंक वाले एरिया पे ही है. टैंक और कैंप वाला एरिया है. टियान बा चैन कर रहे हैं अपने पे. ब्रो टियान बा एकदम अपने पे आ रही गॉडल पे. टियान बा इनिशिएट कर रहे हैं अपने फाइट.
Dream scenario, maybe it's a hovercraft.
ना ओजी का थोड़ा कैजुअल हो गया पब्लिक. पहले वहां पे गया अप्रोच, फिर वहां पे फिर फेरी के कंपाउंड से स्लैम मारे. टियान बा के बंदे को मारा. अपने डब्ल्यू नॉक फिनिश कर दिया. अपना भी एक नॉक हुआ. मिलू को नॉक फिनिश डाल दिया अपन. मिलू को नॉक फिनिश डाल दिया गॉडल के पुटे. अपना भी एक नॉक है. अपन एंगेज कर रहे हैं. टियान बा प्रॉपर एंगेज कर दी.
This is the establisher. You can see the fight here from the top.
अरे यार
QZZ with a nade into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
मैं फिर से मैप की फीड लगा के बैठा था, मैं कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ। ये सेटअप मेरे लिए थोड़ा एडवांस है पब्लिक, थोड़ा समझ रहा हूँ, ठीक है? माफी चाहता हूँ। बाकी फाइट पे ध्यान देता हूँ।
Takes a fair bit of damage here. Refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates.
फॉल बैक करने का ट्राई करेगी शायद। एक की पोजीशनिंग पिन है, थोड़ी नेट वेट डाल के निकाल सकते हैं। दोनों को नेट वेट डाल के निकाल सकते हैं। फॉल बैक कर रहे, W they are falling back, W defend boys। पावर ने किल निकाला, W खतरनाक।
Trying to take some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Only gets worse for Aurora as well. That's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third.
अभी 99% पब्लिक मैंने सेटअप एकदम परफेक्ट कर दिया, मेरे माइक पे मैंने सप्रेशन ऐड कर दिया, तो आपको मेरे माइक से बैकग्राउंड आवाज नहीं आएगा। मीनो मार उसको, W मीनो। तो मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ 99% सेटअप एकदम परफेक्ट है। अभी माइक की आवाज मैंने एकदम बराबर कर दी अपनी, सप्रेशन ऐड किया है, तो मेरे माइक से आपको बैकग्राउंड नॉइस नहीं आएगा, मेरी आवाज आएगी। बाकी कास्टर की आवाज भी बढ़ा दी मैंने, और आपको गेम की आवाज भी प्रॉपर आ रही है, तो एवरीथिंग इज सॉर्टेड आई गेस। अगर सब सॉर्टेड है तो मेरे लिए चैट में 18 नंबर लिखना, उससे मैं समझ जाऊंगा कि सब सॉर्टेड है। 18 नंबर लिखना, 18, ठीक है? उससे मैं समझ जाऊंगा। बाकी अभी गेम पे ध्यान देता हूँ, मेरे को दुनिया भर के कैंप फीड है इधर, बट अभी मैं समझ गया कौन सी फीड कब दिखाना है, मेरे को इजी हो गया। मैं सब तुमको प्रॉपर दिखा दूंगा, टेंशन मत लो। अब A to Z आई एम कंप्लीटली लॉग्ड इन। अभी ये मैच से लेके आखिरी के मैच तक आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम देखने नहीं मिलेगी, सब 10 on 10 है। मेरे सामने XLR का डॉग, स्ट्रीम डेक, ये सारी चीजें वो सीख गया, मैं समझ गया। तो 18 नंबर स्पैम करके मेरे को बता देना सब 10 on 10 है बोल के, ठीक है? बाकी लाइक एंड सब बॉयज। ओजी के लिए खराब गया गेम, एक किल मिला, आरुजो मारा। बाकी अपना गॉडल 4 मैन जिंदा है, टैंक वाला एरिया होल्ड कर रही। प्लीज पापा लेफ्ट साइड जोन शिफ्ट मार दो, प्लीज पापा प्लीज। अरे यार अपने टैंक वाला एरिया जोन में है नहीं रहा, जो अपन वो मिलिट्री वाला छोटा सा एरिया होल्ड करते वो जोन में है नहीं। अब अपनी पुश कहाँ डालेंगे अपन? फेरी के अंदर कंपाउंड में, फेरी के अंदर कंपाउंड में जाएंगे तो सीन तो होगा। अपन कहाँ जाएंगे भाई? पानी वाला एरिया पूरा लोग ले रहे हैं, पूरा ले लिया, एनजेक्स ले ली, 40 फेरी का 2 नीचे वाले सीमेंट वाले एरिया और स्क्वाडर्स होल्ड कर रही है। फेरी का बान हाउस ऑलरेडी टेकन है, फुल जो 2 कंपाउंड होते हैं फेरी के एकदम पास वाले वो भी होल्ड करके बैठे हुए हैं। एप्पल ब्रिज के पास है, इधर अप्रोच रखेंगे अपन, इधर अप्रोच रखेंगे।
Slowly careening back in towards his team and lock it down. They have lost one off the back of that. Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Matches Dashwood going up. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sidelines to the side. Furia. Ooh. Go on.
आप लोगों को गॉडल की रोटेशन दिखाता हूँ, आ जाओ।
Give it some welly.
मैप स्ट्रीम देखो पब्लिक, गॉडल अभी भी है ना वहीं पे है, और रोटेशन मारी नहीं, बट ऐसा मैं आप लोगों को चेंज करके दिखाते रहता हूँ, क्योंकि अब मैं सीख गया है। ये कैम स्विच किया, ये मैप फीड दिखाया, कैम स्विच किया, ये सारी चीजें कर सकता हूँ। ये फुल कैम कर दिया, दूसरा कैम कर दिया, ये दिखा दिया, ये दिखा दिया, ऐसा सब कर सकता हूँ। तियानबा वर्सेस कोटी की, कोटी वर्सेस तियानबा, ये भी यहीं पे मसड़ चल रही है।
Bowling at ₹400 and SIP at just ₹100. Oh.
His hands.
बच गया, मान्या बच गया।
So many teams crunching.
तो मैं किले आराम से टीएनबा के साथ अलग नहीं है। टीएनबा के ये के 2 बॉस से निकाल दिया, अच्छा जोन है। एक मार दिया, 2 एक टीएनबा का, 2 ये के।
Good entry point coming through for Godlike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space.
क्रूशियल फाइट है, सबसे क्रूशियल फाइट है। थर्ड पार्टी तो होने नहीं वाला अपने को, बस ये क्लियर करने का है।
But Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
After this match, yeah.
Smoke on the stairs.
How do we do it?
Straight in with the
यार मीनो ऑफ हो गया। अरे यारो
saying feed me
भाई,
more. Godlike charge into him.
आखिरी
Quick
बचा।
decision, but not
अरे यार भाई उन्हें अकेला बहुत मार दिया रे अपने को।
And Sume will save
अरे
it.
यार
But at
1v3
what
कर
cost?
गया उन्हें, पावर
The
3
only
किल लेके
player
गया।
left alive for the
अरे यार ये
squad.
How do I do that
I mean,
camera?
Godlike need more men now. They're only down to 1. What a play from Mormon. The speed, the velocity. Straight in there, no qualms. Now vitality. they're up into it. This place has been the graveyard of 5 separate teams so far.
Vitality आ गई.
Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive as the sole participant?
The Vitality of victory.
I don't know how to do it.
The top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Hora in the distance as Jiggle is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak going to dive in the corner. He wants to punish him with a shot. He'll find it.
Really
यार अपन ये fight गंदा थोड़ा left right हो गया
make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pimple coming down.
I'm really sorry chat गलत टाइम पे भाई आगे वो थोड़ा distract हो गया मैं गेम पे ध्यान नहीं दे पाया वो आप लोग देखे होंगे जहाँ तक मैं थोड़ा बहुत देखा वो ये का बंदा अकेला बहुत मार गया वहाँ पे अपनी casualty नहीं होती ना तो अपन अच्छे से defend कर पाए.
Beachhead does well. Ida as well as Ulf now going at it. Play from Ulf downstairs is not. They have 4 players up though right now. This is very easy to recover from. Well, he should be.
Whoa, you run straight into that one. Catching the as Ida try and clap back. It's good damage, but such an awkward setup between both of them. Casualties on either side. Scarface looking to go for the pick-up play. Meanwhile, outside, Emre charging round with the SMG. And denied out by Nongshim Red Force. Tizzy takes that one.
Nongshim could push this pretty quickly. Ulf is not looking too good right now. Neither is Vitality. Flipping into action. They lose a vehicle. Razy and Razak try and get the buggy through the window, but end up dismantling through normally. That was a speedy rotate. I like that. You know, cut your losses. Moving through Aura as well as 4th Rise is going to be hard, and eventually you get third party by one of them. You hear the engagement happening on the north. You send it. Now Ulf is in a very tricky spot. Cut between 2 strong teams in Nongshim as well as Vitality.
Quick decisions and shades of the Vitality that we were so impressed by prior. Once again, back on our screens, it's only the 1 elim they've been able to garner so far. But they are licking their lips at the prospect of so much more.
Getting a little bit more here, you get yourself the Naruto skin in-game, as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. Both looking very cool here. Ulf's going to hopefully have to drop a substitution jutsu here to try and get out of this one, because it is going to be hard. Vitality, Razy, Razak move up, quick shots over towards Souls. He tries to move around the corner. Nongshim still in play. They're the ones getting the most of the damage though. Federales at least will confirm one. Quick switch around the side, denying some of the sight lines. As Ulf does go down. Vitality though, they've been hugging the wall so far. Not allowing a single moment for Nongshim Red Force to try and challenge that spot. Razak, though, what are you doing? Testing the waters, a little bit hot.
Yeah, I did not like the feeling of that one. Although, maybe he wants to go for it from a slightly different approach. Runs back out. Meanwhile, attention turns onto Federales, and that is another knock going the way of Nongshim. Oh, Razak.
Oh, yeah, good shots.
He's got so easy, very low. Nade right on top of him as well, following up from that. Oh, mate. Hyunbin with the instantaneous conversion. Now it's a raw 3-on-3. Luckily, they will save Federales, but he's got to top himself back up.
I mean, Razak understood the idea. Now tries to get up towards the wall, create a different angle to deal with. Nongshim was quick to it. Hyunbin pushing up right now. He's a little bit close for comfort here. But I think they know they want to get rid of this guy sooner rather than later, but he has pulled these kind of antics before, getting a little too aggressive without the help of the rest of the team. So easy goes down the back lines as Flash starts to move on through.
Tizzy tries his might, rapid shots coming out, but not enough to finish Vitality. The end of Nongshim Red Force, but it does leave Vitality slightly weakened. And Flash, they are next in line to try and keep them pinned here, knowing eventually they'll have to move. slightly paranoid about the other teams that could be behind them.
Blue is ushering Vitality forward, swinging in on the same angle as Flash. How will they make this work? S2G, you were right. You were actually right. They had 2 hovercrafts in play. Being able to keep both of these alive all the way through to this end game is giving them a lot of pressure. Loss isn't quite able to get it up though. And the hovercraft is stuck on the side. Yeah, just about. We'll take it. I mean, they're just letting it happen. Come on, bit more gas.
Got to give it some welly. His teammate's taking a fair bit of damage, but with that added armor of these big hovercrafts in play, if you say like this, man, if you can get them into the zone, there could be a lot you could do with it late game. I'm surprised the Lula have been able to guard this for so long, make it look uncomfortable. Nade after nade as well, just trying to soften them up.
Vitality do move over to the side. They're looking down over towards 4th Rise. The shots are pouring in. S2G, they brought repair kits as well with them. Got the blowtorch in play. I mean, that's bold. On fire. Get out. Falak down. Aura, no fear. Drops them all up top side. Looks fairly decent on that one. Airburst are slightly too far. This is some comedy. Not gonna lie to you.
Okay, they should be able to clean up from here at least, as long as there's not any more mistakes. It's damage done onto Soul K, but they do hold on. Shut down Alula.
What was that?
Bit of a weird one.
It was a weird one. I'm glad you picked it up strong, though, because, I mean, it is an important fight. It's just interesting. Vitality go down in the meantime as Flash continues to push the advantage. But it is majority of 4th Rise doing that damage. Enigma Galaxy, after their strange approach from the early game, now going out slowly but surely. Just Ralph as well as Lord. Flash has been all over the place so far. Next circle will pull in, stage 7. 4th Rise have been weathering it though. They have held a ton of space. It has been a little bit greedy, but they've been doing a good job of playing off one another. Yes, they've taken some knocks here and there, but they've maintained a 4-man. They're in this area early, and they understand better than anyone else. This is a game that they should be doing well on. I don't think I'd put as much pressure on and say this is a game they should win from the spot they had at the start, but it should be at least a top 5, which I think, you know, we've already achieved. So this is a good game from 4th Rise and shows that they still have it in them.
And with them being able to have enough timing here to get IQ back up once again, the 2-2 split from them could still pay dividends massively. It's been a very elongated firefight between them and Hora, effectively just mirroring each other's movement up along the ridge into the zone. A little bit more split here. No fear in the back, trying to protect some Overwatch. Right above you in the building as well. Meanwhile, that's an engagement over onto Enigma Galaxy. S2G, after moving in and cleaning out Alula, they head center zone, and they find the final blow there. Goodbye, Enigma Galaxy. S2G stealing points here, there, and everywhere.
Do we have to call this play the kamikaze from now on, where S2G just launch him out like a rocket to center circle and leave him there on his own?
He loves it.
This is the kamikaze. This is crazy stuff. The rest of S2G trying to regroup with him, but it's not likely. Kamikaze in play right now. The other hovercraft does go down, not really any other vehicles. Might need to regroup, pick it back up again, but Kamikaze, he's going to hold that spot. He's planted the flag, the S2G flag. T24 goes down, jiggle around the side.
Oh, Sleepy. Top side of the stairs, but you can't weather the storm as 4th Rise arrives, and the brain of the operation kicks in the brawn. The shotgun does damage. Falak there in the back line to assist, but no fear. Charging up. He's going to play on the edge, wants to run in now with the timing, see if he can shut them down. Falak charges back, can't do it. No fear, holds on. Quick switch to the primary. Gets himself onto an off angle. With one more play, if he can shut down IQ, he can take out 4th Rise, and that's how he does it. No fear from Hora, stands on.
Absolutely not frightened in the slightest as he moves downstairs, pushes up into the dark, and 4th Rise will fall. Win up against the world right now. DPS at distance, he's fighting all of them, but S2G falling in the meanwhile. No fear. There's a possibility of winning this if he wants to push out right now.
Get involved in the action. Everyone's weakened. Doesn't have all the info we do right now. He's going to top himself back up, play the slow game. That's Flash. losing their last man there with Kamikaze continuing to punish. Oh, a horrible spot, tries to get the heal in. Kamikaze's got a single nade in the back pocket if he chooses to dash it. They've got clear vision now, peppering the bullets. This is it. Pulls the pin, looking to cook. Let's see if he can land it.
Kamikaze looking for it now. A bit of splash damage. But not that just there yet. Kamikaze keeps spraying the right location with the bullets, peppering the ground, picking up mud. Solke in the back lines. What's left out here? Quite an unfamiliar target. Solke will take down Tops, but Kamikaze is out and we're down to a 1 versus 1 versus 1. The outside contender in No Fear. Solke looking at both angles.
The battle of the solos to decide our second game chicken dinner. No Fear already picking up that big clutch. He's amped up as an individual. Got a rough read on where he believes Solke can be stationed, tucked in behind this burnt-out hovercraft.
I don't think he knows. I think he knows there's a team in that general direction, but he does not know where No Fear is. Hamzy G finally goes down. I think No Fear has a rough idea that he's playing on this hovercraft, though. He has the information. Watching both of them. This would be an unbelievable double clutch up versus 4 thrives into the last 2 teams. Zeus is just pushing forward. Instant spot, though, over towards No Fear. And now Zeus with all to do here. Flash, who had swept everyone aside. Solke, the last to fall potentially here versus Team Flash.
Zeus, the lightning reactions for Flash have guaranteed them a second place, but can he take it to first, or will Solke get it done for S2G? A smoke wall, giving him limited play space. That tree, the only protection for the peak for Flash. He's going to make his move, starts charging in, wants to close the distance. Here's the peak up, bullets on target. Suya so low, buckles under the pressure. That's the damage coming through as they lock it in.
S2G, Kamikaze with the Kamikaze play towards the center. It's an explosive finish right at the end. But Solke steps up, a lad that's been in the esport for the longest of time. He's still got it in him.
Feeding the crowd energy. A celebration in unison for the nation as they pop off on that one. S2G locking it down and everyone's living it up.
And it's all in the name because